James Green, Short Series Shenanigans. So, what I was talking about the other day, when you get busy talking during doing a video, you make mistakes. So, it also offers me an opportunity to show you how I'm going to fix it and another way to do a setup. So everyone thinks doing videos is easy. This is a prime example of, and it's just the way I do videos. I like to do them live and unedited, and I show you guys when I mess up. So, the other day when we were drilling, this is for the repair for the tailstock setup on the Grizzly G0776. When I was drilling for the hole for this and showing you the setup with the Wilton vise, well, I got busy talking and somehow I had it in my brain, one of the other holes, it was a different size drill bit, and I mistakenly drilled it that size. Not a big deal, it hadn't been tapped yet. I went to go, oh wait a minute, that's not correct. I went, drat. Oh, but wait a minute, let me show you another setup. So, if you want to purchase, this is an excuse, if you will, to use another tool, or if you have this tool, or here's another reason for buying one. Indexing head. Now I've got it flipped on this side just to show you guys. It's a BS0. Now I've already got it set. We'll go ahead and reset it. Okay. Got it set up here. And so, yes, it is an import one. No, I've never had any trouble with it. And yes, I've built lots of gears with it. It's got the dividing head plate over here, and it's got two others depending on what size I need to cut, and I keep them in my drawer over there. But, so it will actually go, of course, I've got the way it's set up right now down at 0. I mean, I've got shorter nuts and stuff I can put if I need to go flat. That's not an issue. But you can go from like minus it, and the graduation of degrees is actually on the other side. Or you can go plumb up, straight up, and you can even come back a little bit. So you can, if you want, and I've seen guys do this, you could use this as a welding positioner because you can actually pull this off. Of course, I've already got it set up and locked, but it's not a big deal. It's very tight. There we go. As you unlock, there we go, because it's got holes where you can do hard lock. It's got 60 minutes of angle. There we go. I don't want to get that mixed up. Where you go, and then it's got several divisions. I'm not going to go in. There's lots of videos out there on how to use these. But you can, if you want, pull this other stuff off the other side. And let's say you need to use it for a weld piece. You could take this off and easily manufacture you. And I'm probably going to do that. A deal where you can set up a little DC motor, and that's something I want to do because I don't use a weld positioner very often, and when I do, it's going to be TIG welding, so I'm not going to be hurting this any. And you know, a welding positioner, a good one, the one that I want, is going to be about $2,500. I don't use one very often, but when I do, it'd be nice to have. And I've seen lots of deals out there. You can take rotary heads or something like this, and you know, you can rotate it and take this handle off and put you on like a little DC motor with a gear and set the speed at which you want it to turn. There you go. That's half the battle. It's just I've got a DC motor, and I've got to make a little gear, and I've got a rheostat, an old pedal. So there's 99.99% of the battle. But anyway, let's go ahead and put this back into 0 position just because that's where I lock it when I'm not. There we go. Okay, it's locked in, and we don't want to, and so this puts a pin in and out to lock. Let's say you have a set number of divisions, and you can just go 1, 2, 3 spaces lock, or whatever. Let's say you're doing something and it has 120 degree, and you figure out with the number of holes, and you can lock it in if you happen to be close to one. This is to lock so that this doesn't rotate. Let's say if you're in between a locked hole, that's what this is for. That screws in here and keeps this from rotating. We're not worried about that. I just go ahead and lock them down just so they're not moving. So we've got it loose, and I've put a little Marvel Mystery Oil in here. So we're going to start from ground zero. I'm going to move you guys over here, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to recover from my mistake. Again, so here's another excuse to justify buying one of these. You don't have to use this for just cutting gears. Here's another example to justify buying one of these dividing heads. Okay, we're already clamped down, and I went through the setup, figured everything out. So again, we're going to take our old part with the handle that I still have to machine back because I want this to go in deeper than what it did into this one. All right, put it in, and by coincidence, this chuck handle is the same size as the on my lathe, so it's handy. So what I do is when I store this is so that I don't lose this, I slide it in here and I get the chuck handle or the chuck key from my lathe, and I lock this in there so that way it doesn't disappear. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here, slide it in, and we're just going to eyeball this for vertical for right now, just for doing setup, because all we're doing is find an angle. I mean, we can come in here and make sure we're vertical this way too. I mean, it's not going to hurt. Might as well. I mean, that way we're right as rain. So let's level that way. Okay, so that's level. All right, now to find our angle, what I talked about the other day. Put it down on your machine. Okay. Find out, because I know this garage floor slopes that way. Okay, I still need to level the lathe and the mill. I'm sorry, the mill. But as long as your head is trammed in with the table, the mill being level, you do want a little bit of a slope so it'll drain, is really consequential. It doesn't really matter. So what you do so that you make sure you know what your level is or how far off it is, I'm about a 1/16 of an inch of the end of the bubble to the line. So we're going to do the same thing here. That's what I know level is, so I know I'm straight up and down, because I already have the head trimmed in with the table, and that's what we're worried about. Okay, making sure that this is trimmed in, and I've already got the correct size bit, which is 8.5. Okay, because we're drilling a 10 by 1.5 thread pitch. I had a letter H in there, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix that and get level again. So here we go. Oh, and by the way, this is a 16 millimeter bolt. Some modern sets you get don't have a 16 or a 17 millimeter. Like if you get a ratcheting end wrench set from, say, O'Reilly's, it doesn't have a 16 or 17 mil ratcheting, because that's not a very common automotive size. However, they have it in the sockets, which is good. So, socket 16 mil. We're going to get ready here. Make sure we're. Don't want to. Because that thing, it don't take much for it to lock up. All right, have it set and ready. So, we're already locked in here. Let's just pull that out of the way for right now. So what we're going to do, same here, we're going to come up and we're going to go with what we know is level. That's with our mill table. Get close, and I'm going to go ahead and snug this just a little bit right there. All right, now I know I've got to come down just a little bit. That light reflecting a little bit. Okay, there we go. We're on. Double check. Yep. So, all right. So everyone's like, well, how do you get your other part straight that needs to go in here? Let me show you. Okay. So take this out. All right. Set that over there. So here's the part we need. Okay. This is another good reason to have, in some cases, drill blanks. This is what drill blanks can be used for. or if you have a gauge pen, if you really want to get a, they're real short. So it was the letter H that we happened to be drilling in. So we're going to grab the letter H, drill blank. Some people think, and you can use these for, well, I need to create a special drill or whatever. It's good to have a set of blanks for that. So here's the letter H. Yep, here's the letter H blank. So that was the hole that we drilled in there. Oh, looky there. Guess what? Or if you don't have a blank, just use a regular bit. I happen to have some blanks. We're all the way back in there. Okay. Same thing. Kind of get it snugged. And we're going to do just like we did the other one. We got to level it this way. Get it vertical. Okay, so there, you're vertical. Everything should be the same. Let's lock that down. So we've got it vertical this way. You can come over here and double check to make sure you're the same, because how we set it up before. So it's changed, it's different. See, even though that we were set up level with the other one, with this hole, we're actually off. We need to come up more. So there, you don't just see, I went off of, well, the other one looked level. Well, here you go. Here's another, catch yourself before you make an oops. And again, it's really not super critical, but let's just go ahead. And I decided to, on this one, when I go ahead and drill all the way, because what I was going to do is I'm going to drill all the way through, so I don't have to worry about a blind hole and all that. And it'll be okay for this setup. So we do want to get it set up and go all the way through. All right, so another example of double checking your work. All right, so come up here and we're going to get this to the same level that the table is level with. One man show here, it's a little difficult at times. Okay. Yeah. Everyone's screaming, "Don't use your hand as a hammer." Yeah, I know, bad habit. Let's go up and then try. Get a little loose. Old habits die hard. Alright, so we're going to tap it. Didn't take much. Alright, now we're going to lock it. Now we know, yep. Now we know that hole, that was just a good example, a learning example of the old part and the new part. And parts is parts. How many of you remember that? So we're locked up, we're locked in, tightened up. So we are squared up. So now, let's get our stuff out of the way here. Again, this was an opportunity to show you another setup and a different way to, you know, recover from a oops, why did I do that? I always use it as a chance to learn. So now, another way you could do to help, again, we're going to go ahead and go all the way through. Let's say this is super critical and you wanted to make sure you get lined up over this. You guys, I'm always talking about cheating or making it simple. Another way you could do to make sure you're squared up over the hole is we could take that drill blank and change our collet out here, because I have a collet in here for this. And we could line up that collet and width and super precise, but this is a through hole for a handle, nothing super, you know, super duper, got to be super precise, but that is another way, you know. Gotta slide that back. Like they say, garbage in, garbage out. But for what we're doing, this is going to work just fine. That out of the way. All the other stuff except what we need. And we're going to have to drop the table some more. Okay. Again, eyeballing this is a pretty good way to do it. Coming in at an angle. I like to rotate my bit. Come down just a little closer. Look at it. I gotta go that way. Oh, I was looking at the two flats. That helps me find out where I need to be. Okay. The human eye is surprisingly actually pretty dang good. All right, we're going to call that good. Lock it down. Come in here. Fire up the rotary phase converter. Get our oil ready. And again, we're going to go ahead and make this a through hole for this. This material is 1144. A little more oil. We're going to go ahead and go all the way through with it. That way I don't have to worry about, that way I do not have to worry about a tap bottoming out and breaking, and there we go. So, success. Let's take this out. Actually, I want to leave that in there. How much time we got left? We got a little bit. Okay, I want to leave that in there. Let's make sure we're still lined up real quick. Because what I want to do is, while I have it here, before I forget, I almost messed up again. So we've got it set up. We're not going to move anything. I'm going to drop the knees down though. Because I'm going to take this out and we're going to get the tap, and we're going to go ahead and tap it while we have it in there. Almost forgot. Almost forgot. There we go. Getting this out. I need to get my gloves and my tap. There we go. All right. You grab the tap. Sorry about that. I thought I had it ready. So we have a plug tap, a Hertel. Okay, set that there. Let's see what size we got. Might have to change. Yeah, let's change collet size real quick. Okay, it's actually got the shaft on it is 3/8 round. So we're going to throw a 3/8 collet in here real quick. And we're going to throw the lathe in back gear and all that stuff, and we're going to tap this sucker. Alright, so and we're done boring, so let's take that out from the other day. And back gear. Should be, yep. Alright, make sure we got enough travel on everything. We do. Get the oil ready. Gotta love it. Love a Bridgeport for tapping. And just a little slide up pressure coming up. That's why I wanted a through hole. So I don't have to worry about breaking a tap or anything. Beautiful threads. Let's blow that out a little bit. All right. Now, I'll probably come in there and I'll hand deburr that because I don't want to come in there with a countersink and mess the, because I've done that before thinking, oh, come in there with a countersink and you jack the threads up a little bit. Not a big deal, we'll just hand deburr it. So there we go. Bam. That's why I wanted to do a through hole. So I don't have to worry about when I was tapping it or anything like that. I'll just come in here and hand deburr that. So, there you go. I hope that's been helpful. I was able to take a moment of and show just, you can easily, and anybody that does YouTube videos machining, if you say you don't make a mistake, you're lying. I show mine. So yeah, there you go. But I sought an opportunity to show an alternate setup. Let's say if you have one of these, or you want to justify buying one of these, a BS zero dividing head, you can use it for cutting gears, drilling odd angles in shafts, and what I talked about, and I am going to build that piece and turn it into a welding positioner, if you will, for small stuff. That it's usually when I need that, until I save up enough enough pennies and dollars and all that stuff to get one of the big ones. So there you go. Thank you to all the new YouTube subscribers. I've got a lot of content coming. If you're new to the channel, thank you. I appreciate it. Spread the word about my channel. Again, thank you to the channel sponsors, Drill Hog, Big Gator Tools, you guys. I've got some stuff on my channel from previous products. Got some new products that they've sent, and I'm going to be doing videos about those, explaining the process, the warranty process for the Drill Hog stuff and the other Big Gator Tools. Lots of neat stuff, and they're both sponsors of the Summer Bash as well. Again, also thank you to American Rotary. You guys see behind me. If you are looking for a rotary phase converter, call American Rotary, talk to Chris Favel, any of the guys, 24-hour tech support. They're awesome. Personally, don't waste your time doing the VFD, all that other business, because you have to do it to each machine. If I want to move equipment in and out, I've got that rotary phase converter and the idler motors. I can change any equipment I want that's three-phase. I don't have to waste expense on a VFD and then rewire the motor, because VFDs give no warning when they go out. None. They just, and then you're out however much you paid for them. Everyone's worried about infinite control. You know what? For what I have here with this old 67 series J-head Bridgeport, 1 horsepower, I don't need infinite control. It does everything I need. And if you're the hobby machinist and you're getting started, American Rotary, go see them, give them a call, look them up. That's the way to go. And they're a prime sponsor of the Summer Bash. So there you go. If you guys have any questions, my public email address, eagledustoff37@gmail.com. Appreciate it. You guys take care of yourself and take care of your family, because remember, at the end of the day, you and your family is all you got. Till next time, get out in the garage and work on something. And if you make a mistake, own up to it and see what you can learn from it. And if you do, pass it on to others. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.